Okay, bringing us home today is Linius Technologies. Linius, trading under the ASX code LNU with a market capitalization of 11 million, is a technology company that deals in the development of technology products, software development, and the commercialization and licensing of its computer software, the Linius Video Virtualization Engine (TM), the world's first video virtualization engine. That was a mouthful. Presenting today, we welcome back is James Brennan, Linius CEO. James, welcome back and take it away.
Paul, thank you much. Thank you so much. It's great to see you again. And thank you everyone for joining this morning. If we could jump forward, just very quickly, standard disclaimers around forward-looking statements that you can read when this is distributed. So jump forward, please. So just to give a high-level overview of what Linius does and what we bring for our customers, we are a SaaS platform that provides a video capability to major video rights holders. We're very focused in the sports and broadcast industry at the moment, and we work with customers who have everything from live sports all the way through huge historical archives. And what we look to do is to help them to generate every ounce of revenue from that video. So there's massive interest in live sports, growing interest in historical archive sports. So if you look at, all the great documentaries that are being put out now, and all of the programs that follow the F1 and the golf, and there's just tremendous interest in the stories of sport. And what our technology does is to allow those rights holders to make that content more effective, to make distributing it and creating that content much more efficient and cost effective. And the way that our technology works, we can even then open up all of that content directly to fans to create and find and search for their favorite moments. Our technology effectively takes videos, which are very large, very difficult, and very costly to work with, and we run them through our patented technology that basically turns them into data. Very lightweight data elements that we can then search, manage, manipulate, pull moments, put them back together, and create personalized video streams and video channels for viewers. So really drives that level of engagement. And our customers are looking to, take their amazing content, take their great viewer bases, and to put it into our engine and effectively drive more revenue out of it. So we're helping them drive more curated content more cost effectively. So this is everything from highlights during the match, mini matches after the content or after the match is done, creating multiple packages that can be shared out to social media and their websites. But then the next piece that we do is we allow the fan themselves to go into that content, and whether that's a live game or a 50-year-old game, to go in and search for their favorite players, their favorite moments, create their own content and share that out. And then the next level of that is for the technology itself to start, recommending, understanding the viewers' interests and patterns, and then driving that. So similar to a YouTube or an Instagram or TikTok-like experience, but rather than user-generated content, it is the amazing sports historical archives and current sports that are being presented by the broadcasters and federations. So it's giving that level of personalization and immersive engagement, but with this amazing sports content. So if we can step forward, we've got a number of tools. These are SaaS platforms, products that we are selling over and over again to our customers, but can also be highly tailored and customized using our APIs. So we have tools for internal use cases where content producers, digital teams, they want to create this content very quickly and effectively. Our customer Cricket Australia is producing significantly more content that they're publishing out to their website and monetizing. And they're saying for a typical program that might be 15 or 20 minutes long, maybe a player retrospective, they're saving 8 hours per video that they're creating. So not only are they able to create more, they're able to do it much more cost effectively. Next, we have that fan engagement solution where whether you're on a website or a mobile application, we have the ability for fans to go in and get that great content through their own personalized channels. So if I'm a fan of AFL and Formula One and Premier League, but I only want Liverpool content or Man U content, I am going to get that personalized video stream pushed to me from live matches all the way through the archive. Continuing forward, we have a global customer base. So, we started here in Australia with a few local federations and customers like the NBL, racing.com, and we've grown globally. We now have customers across all of our major target geographies, including large global brands and rights holders like IMG, who's one of the largest sports and media companies in the world. Cricket Australia, New Zealand Rugby. This year, we've entered into the U.S. market with the North American Hockey League and into the U.S. college sports market that I'm going to talk a little bit more about. Premier League teams. So everything from broadcasters all the way through federations, teams, globally using our products. We support over 15 sports and 40 different federations. And we're in that kind of high growth phase now. We've got the products, we've got the validation in the market with those initial customer bases, and we're executing on that high growth stage. Next slide, please. So just to highlight a couple of those opportunities in particular, I mentioned IMG, who's one of the largest rights holders in the world for sports. We're working with some of the top content. We're working with Premier League's entire video archive, Wimbledon, the Masters, the Open, and they've embedded our technology into that archive that contains 500,000 hours of video content going back 100 years in some cases. They've implemented our technology for their staff and anyone who wants to license that content. That could be filmmakers, advertisers, news agencies, sports federations. They can very quickly go in and find any moment. If I want to pull up all of David Beckham's free kick goals, I can do that in seconds, get that content, license that content, and utilize it for my project. The federations themselves can go in and find that content very quickly and publish it out to their website. So this opportunity with IMG has, number one, validated our product globally. So working with a brand like IMG gives instant credibility and validation to our solutions, but also opens up every one of those federations in that archive as potential direct customers as well, let alone all of the other groups within IMG. So there's probably a dozen groups within IMG where our technology is being evaluated for different use cases across that organization. Next slide, please. The next area of rapid growth for us is the US college sports market. Over the last 6 months, we've announced 2 college conferences using our technology, the Peach Belt Conference and most recently the Lone Star Conference. We're supporting them for basketball and just deployed this week our first deployment for American football, which is really important in the US college market. The football monetization is higher than every other sport combined. So working with football is a critical key to success. We now have that, and we're working with multiple different conferences and universities, and really excited about the opportunity there because it is a highly repeatable market. And if we jump to the next slide, you'll see that the overall opportunity there is massive because there's over 1,100 schools that participate in what's called the NCAA. That's the top tier of college sport in the US. There's over 1,100 schools that are typically playing anywhere from 10 to 20 plus sports, 150 conferences who are the conglomerations of those schools. And those conferences are bigger than most of the other sports around the world. So just to give a comparison, the NCAA Division I, which is the top tier, generates nearly as much as the NFL itself. And some of the bigger conferences and schools generate more revenue than any sport in Australia, for example. So the total addressable market for us is roughly $70 million per year. And for our solution, it is a highly replicable solution. Once we have one, we can do multiples very quickly. Moving on. And the last piece of our growth strategy is around the segment called automated highlights. And if you look at the trends in the industry, currently and forever, the live long form broadcast rights have generated the most value in the industry by far. But in the past few years, the growth of short form content for social media, for websites, is growing rapidly. There's different predictions, whether it's in 5 years or 10 years, it's very clear that the trend is towards that continuing to grow and at some point overtaking the value of the live rights. So the ability to find, create, and very cost effectively create that video becomes important. We've now partnered with another major provider in that space, a company called Magnify, to combine our unique technology and capabilities with theirs to really dominate that market. The combination of our two technologies together, we now have what we think is a completely disruptive capability. Magnify is one of the fastest growing companies in that space, and with the combination of our technology, we are actively going after a leadership role in that market segment, which is a segment that every federation, every broadcaster is utilizing today. Jumping forward. And just to wrap up what that means for the business. So effectively, our FY23 was a very transformational year for us, and our FY24 results will be coming out soon to show the continuation of that growth. But in FY23, we showed an 82% year-on-year growth to just shy of $500,000 in cash receipts and billings. Early in the year, we put forward that our contracted revenues for the year for FY24 were going to be about $725K, and we're well ahead of that. Our Q3 results showed a 63% growth in billings and 66% in cash receipts. So we absolutely look forward to being able to produce those full year financial numbers that show that continued growth. Last slide, please. So what I will say, here's my contact information, and just as an opportunity, we are currently off market doing a small private placement. If there is any interest in learning more about that particular offer, here's the contact information where you can learn more about it. Thank you so much, Paul.
James, thanks again for the presentation. Got a few questions. One here, what are the next likely deployments for the US college sports, and what impact do you think they will have on revenues?
Yeah, the college sport market, as I said, is absolutely critical for us. We're kind of in that summer season in the US where the schools are taking a bit of a break doing their budgeting for next school year. We are working with quite a few colleges and conferences again. We're looking at expanding our basketball and football deployments into multiple universities and conferences, looking at a few that are doing multiple additional sports beyond that. That market is very important for us. We just attended one of the major conferences or trade shows for that particular segment. And we are forging a few very important partnerships in that space. What we found is there are a handful of providers, maybe half a dozen providers that do a lot of the websites and video production for that segment, and integrating with them will help us to scale that. So working with companies that have 60-70% of that market captured already, hundreds of salespeople who will be looking to take our products out to market. So we'll be coming to market with some more information around those in the near future.
You talked about IMG. How is the IMG deployment progressing? Is it progressing well?
Yeah, so the IMG product is deployed and being utilized by their existing customers. We're talking about multiple opportunities to enhance the value proposition of that with some new features and capabilities. I talked about that automated highlights capability, the ability for them to be able to provide those automated highlight packages is a key value proposition that they're looking at. And then every one of those customers that are in that archive become targets for us and for IMG to take further features and capabilities like our fan engagement solutions directly to those conferences. So those introductions have been made, and we're actively generating multiple opportunities through that.
Gotcha. And there's a question here: does the licensing model scale as a licensee uses Linius more? Do they pay more?
Yeah, so our model effectively has three components. So the first component is a setup fee for us to connect into their video archive systems, to connect into their data sources and websites. So that is traditionally kind of a cost plus exercise where we generate a small margin on that. There's then a licensing fee for the different products, depending on which of our products they're taking. There's a monthly or annual license fee for those. But all of our contracts do have a variable component in those as well, whether that is a usage-based component like a per stream charge, or a revenue share with the company that is effectively a stand-in for that per click variable model. So it might be a revenue share on ad revenue. So absolutely, as the utilization of our platform goes up, the revenue potential goes up for us as well.
And just one last one here. How is the launch of Wizard 2.0 progressing?
Yeah, so we launched Wizard 2.0, which is our content search and curation tool. We launched that for IMG, and all of our new deployments are now going on that new version. It's providing significant additional value for the customers. It integrates our automated highlights solution, provides even greater search capability and search flexibility. We're transitioning some older customers to that now as well. So just as an example, racing.com was one of our first customers that came on board 4+ years ago. They initially started on a bespoke solution that we built for them. We're literally a few days away from converting them over to the new Wizard 2.0, which opens up multiple opportunities. So that's our key thing is Wizard is now the foundation of all of the capabilities across our portfolio. Enables upsell opportunities and additional revenue opportunities. So moving all of our customers to that new version is absolutely critical, and we're probably 50-60% through that transition.
James, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on today, and many thanks for making the time. You have a great weekend.
Thanks, Paul.